Morning, everybody. What'd you dream about? Told you I was going to ask you, didn't I? I hope it was good. In fact, I hope it was awesome. I did the same thing I've been doing for a while. I slept in today. Got up about 7 o'clock. But I got up thinking about what I needed to do, and I know I dreamt a lot of dreams the first round, and I forgot them. Spaced them right out. Laid there. I got to remember. I'm going to remember. I'm going to tell people about them. And when I laid back to sleep, I hit the remote or the snooze button. I had some more dreams, and they're recurring dreams. And I'm still not sure exactly what they mean, and I'll share them another time with you because we're trying to be positive. Hey, Sarah, you locked the dog out. He likes to go back in and out of the house all morning long when we're out here talking. It's fun. So today, be positive, day 19. How's everybody doing? I get a lot of replies. Sarah, you want to take care of that for me? That's my truck. He gets lonely and yells at me every once in a while if I'm not paying attention. I'm serious. I am not sure why it does that. It's a Dodge Ram. And I read that the key fob's battery dies or something like that. And that's not true. That's not true. It's funny as hell. It doesn't do it all the time. That it did it right now is just absolutely funny. I love it. That's just beautiful. But it'll do it at odd times. I kind of think it's the Bluetooth stuff. Right? Frequencies, all these frequencies that are going on. I think it's kind of what it is. But that was hilarious. So my truck says hello. Just leave me the keys in case it decides to talk some more. So anyway, let's get back to what we're doing here. I hope you had good dreams. What are you doing, dog? You can't have my food yet. I haven't finished eating. So, like I said, I get some replies. Yesterday when we were talking about self-worth in a state of mind, my wife specifically was referring to people that will say that they're lonely or they're oh, nobody likes me or I'm depressed or this or that online. And they post all this stuff online constantly. And then they wonder why they feel that way. And let's go back to a few days before, okay? When your self-talk, okay, what you say really becomes your reality. So let's go through the little routine here. What you think becomes what you say sometimes for some people. A lot of people don't think before they talk. What you say becomes your reality. And if you're constantly talking bad about yourself and putting yourself down, and I've had people in my life do this a lot, and really close people to me in my family, and I tried to get them to stop it. And it really, until they're ready to want more for themselves, they're not going to. So I'm hoping that if you're watching this, you're looking for more, or you just like to watch me be a crazy guy. But either way, you're on here, I'm enjoying the company. But what you say, especially about yourself, is going to become your truth. It's going to become your reality. Good morning, everybody. There you are. I was wondering where everybody's going to pop up. So watch what you say about yourself, okay? And so today on Be Positive Day 19, what I want to share with you is a little tool, a little trick that I use. Not really a trick. It's a tool that I use to remind myself from time to time that I'm worth it and that things are going to work out the way they're going. One of the things I'm grateful for this month that I wrote down on my board, my vision board, is that I have the ability to make incredible things happen. I am grateful for my ability to make incredible things happen. Not just little things. I can make breakfast, but I make incredible things happen. I have this ability when I put my mind to it, and so do you. Now, one of the tools that I use to allow that to take place by raising my standards, okay, we talked about this, raising your standards, I watch what I say. This morning, do you have to go to work or do you get to go to work? Think about it. You wake up and even if you're positive, watch the spin on these words, okay? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'd love to talk to you some more. I'd love to sit and listen to you, Jim, but I have to go to work. Sounded positive, but the word have to implies that you better get your butt there or something terrible is going to happen. Now, if you believe that to be true, guess what? That's how your life is. And you know, you can fill the void there with all kinds of excuses and reasons, right? Well, if I don't go to work, I can't pay my bills. If I can't pay my bills, I lose my house. If I lose my house, I'm in the street. Well, absolutely sure, of course. That's the chain of event that could take place if you believe that that's how it's supposed to be. If that's your paradigm, do it. Well, what if? And don't listen. Don't call your boss and say I told you didn't have to go to work today. Didn't get to go to work today. Okay, but let's say for you, you know what? I'm taking a me day. Now, if you're a surgeon and you have surgery scheduled, please don't take the day off. Go cut somebody open and fix them. Okay, but you know what I mean. If you take, you know, today's a me day. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna take place, and I'm gonna take care of myself. And you do it. The world's not gonna stop. Trust me, it's not. Your business, your boss, right? People will go on. Okay, but let's rephrase the question or the statement real quick. Jim, I'd love to sit and listen to you and listen to you ramble and I love all the crazy stuff you're doing, but I get to go to work and I'm going to go now and take care of myself, take care of that stuff. I love to go to work. I was speaking with one of my friends yesterday and he told me his new job, when he started using the law of attraction, listen, he was a skeptic. Holy crap. I've been talking to this gentleman for a long time and I love him to death, but he was just, and he's a clockmaker. So he wants scientific proof and details. So when we talk about the law of attraction and stuff, he's like, I don't know. And then he started applying it and one thing after another started opening up for this gentleman. And he changed his life and turned it around so dramatically. And you guys know what I'm talking about if you know, if you're paying attention, you're close to me. He asked me yesterday, we were talking about work, and he said something. He said, you know, in my new job, and he's been there, I think, a couple of years now, maybe a year or two. I can't remember. He said, I have never got up and said or felt the dread of having to go to work. He has not felt that way since he started this new job. And well, what has changed? It's still a job. He still works for somebody else. It's a different type of job than he worked for 17 years, but the one that he started hating. But what changed? Is it the fact that he gets to go to work? Yes. I slipped, okay? It's not that he has to go to work anymore. He gets to go to work, and he knows it, and he loves it. And not only that, but he gets to make a difference in everybody's life. He tells me that every day he goes there, he told me yesterday, you know what, Jim, I feel like I'm teaching all the time when I'm talking to somebody. And how cool is that? If you find yourself in a position where you can help people raise their standards and raise that bar, how cool is that? And that's his life now. That's what he does. And it's incredible. So watch what you say. Little simple words. I have to go to work. I have to get up. No. I get to go to work. I'm waking up now. Okay, hit the ground running. Start each day with a purpose, right? So for day 19, what I'd like you to do in raising your standards, I'm going to hand you this tool, okay? I want you to get around others who inspire you. Not motivate. Motivation is easy. Hey, get up, let's get a run. No. Inspiration. Get around somebody who inspires you. And usually somebody better, right? And I hate those words, better, higher, whatever. But let's face it. If you want to improve in a competitive sport, you don't, let's say tennis, okay? You don't, I know tennis, right? What? You don't play somebody you can beat all the time. You go and you find somebody who's willing to kick your butt on that court every minute you're out there, and you push and you push and you push until it makes you better, right? You know, this is no fun. I lose all the time. No. You want to get better? You get out there and play somebody who makes you hustle, right? Martial artists are always bashing other martial artists. And I'm like, not so much anymore. Listen, guys, you're doing great. You're changing, and I love it. But for the most part, the keyboard warriors are still out there, and a bunch of bozos don't know what they're talking about, but they bash each other. And when they do, you know, it's usually, you don't know what you're doing. All your stances suck or this. And it's from a different point of view. But very rarely do they look at somebody and go, man, I want to be like that. That's what I've done my whole life. Started when I was a young martial artist. I looked at Sifu, I watched George Moss, and I watched him do a roundhouse kick, whipping the dragon's tail, spinning hook kick. And they used to call it Mr. Moss in the windmill. And I'd watch him sparring. He could stand right in front of you, and before you knew it, his head would be toward the floor, if you can imagine this, standing on one leg, and his other leg would be upside your head in a spin, and he, bam, pop you. And I was like, oh, man, I want to be that guy. I want to be like that. So I'd go home and practice my spinning hook kick, whoosh, whoosh, so I could be like Mawson. That's the type of thing you want. You want to get around somebody who inspires you, and then you want to move towards that goal. Yesterday, for self-worth, somebody posted that they were feeling very alone, and they found themselves alone, and nobody called, and they didn't have anybody to hang out with. So let me address that real quick on this point, because you want to get around people, right? If you find yourself feeling alone, and you find yourself depressed because of it, and it starts to spiral and perpetuate. I'm alone, so nobody likes me. Nobody likes me, and I must be terrible. And pretty soon that self-talk perpetuates the attitude that pretty soon nobody really wants to be around you. And it becomes your truth. It becomes your reality. You got to stop. You got to change that. Okay? When we were younger, some of us had a very big social life, right? I mean, we hung around a ton of people. We were always out doing stuff, maybe partying, maybe not partying, maybe just had a social meeting at the rocks or the sand dunes or somewhere like that in the desert. But we had a lot of people. We were calling each other all the time. Remember back in the 80s and 70s, you picked up the phone, you dialed your number, and you called your buddy, and then they came over, or you met somewhere, and you got a bunch of group of people there. It wasn't social media, it wasn't on the phone, but we were physically active. Well, we grow older. In my case, I had kids. Boom, 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 boom. 4 beautiful daughters in a row. Smack, 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 smack. I stopped hanging out with all those people. We are, right? So I give everything I have to my babies and my career and hopefully my relationship. And then things change and the kids grow up, and I'm used to having a ton of people around, okay? Well, I can tell you as an older parent now, as your kids grow up and become parents of their own, they don't call you every day. They're not at the house running around playing music, friends in and out. Changes. If I let that drag me down, I would be lonely. Instead, I revel in the excellence that have become my 7 children, and I watch it from a distance and I view it. Now, when I feel lonely and I want to reach out and find somebody else, do I sit around and tell myself I'm terrible, my kids never call me, my friends don't call me anymore? Oh, nope. I get off my butt and I make something happen. Or if I want to reach for excellence, I get a book from somebody who's done way more than me in a certain area that I want to improve, somebody who's made the mistakes and made the path, and now I'm going to use them to inspire me to move forward. So now my relationship doesn't depend on a bunch of people being around. It doesn't have to. It could, if that's what you love, but it doesn't have to. I've got a book. I've got TV. Now, people squawk at TV, but when I turn it on, I'm looking for things I can learn. When I turn this on, I'm looking for ways I can learn. I'm looking for people to inspire me. Can you get inspired from a movie? Absolutely. Pick a character you like in a movie, watch how they act on TV and in the movie, and you go, you know what? Those are traits that I would love to have. John Wayne. I want to be like that. Okay? So I'm going to pick up the character traits from that, and that inspires me to be a better person. He treats his woman like that. Man, I hope my lady feels that way. In order for her to do that, I'm going to try that hat on, and I'm going to make her dreams come true. And now I'm inspired by that. Today, I want you to inspire yourself first. Go back to the list that you made a couple days ago about the wonderful things that you've done in your life. Remember the 5 things I asked you to pick? And read them out loud. Okay? I'm going to give you a couple of mine. I know I'll bore you, but I'll give you a couple of mine right now because I'm going to do it for me and for you if you want. One of the things that I've accomplished, and I wrote these down, I found the woman of my dreams. I did. Sarah is everything and more. How did I do that? Did I put an order in? Kinda. In my head, I had been through a few things and learned how to treat people and learned what I was willing, what I needed, what I wanted in my relationships, and what I was not going to settle for, what I was not going to put up with anymore. And when I was clear on that, just so happened that the stars aligned or whatever it was, and she was in the same position. She was done with this kind of person and done with this kind of nonsense, and she wanted this, and we found each other. And it was awesome. It's still awesome. Okay, now my goal in life is to make all of her dreams come true, and that's what I'm doing. So that's number 1. I've accomplished that. I'm so proud of that. I inspire myself. Okay. I got my 10th degree black belt. Not many people, I take that back. There are a lot of 10th degrees now. And but it's an accomplishment. It's a big accomplishment. It's not something that everybody can do. 10th degree black belt, is a lifetime of dedicating yourself to the skill set, the idea, and the love to give it back. It's not just about coveting everything, learning how to kick and punch. For those of you that aren't real familiar with martial arts, it's way more than kicking and punching, especially at this level. Now, there's a lot of people out there, 10th degree, 10th degree. There's a lot of 10th degrees. Well, sure there are, because martial arts has been around a long time, and the ranking system has been out there long enough that there's going to be 10th degree black belts. I challenge you to get yours. I had a student a couple of weeks ago put a big old huge smile on my face. He came in, he's over 50. He just got his yellow belt from me about a month ago. So he'd been here about 4 months. And he said, Sifu, is it possible for me at my age to get a black belt? And yeah, 5 to 8 years average. Okay. If you really dedicate yourself for a real black belt, 5 to 8 years. Well, that puts him at about 60 years old, right? Yes. Absolutely. And guess what he told me? This is what made me, he goes, I've decided to dedicate myself to do that with you, sir. I was like, yeah, wow, there you go. So that makes me happy. So maybe I've inspired that guy in my old age, right? Okay. My kids. Now, what I'm doing is I'm listing accomplishments, and I'm listing things that make me feel like I've accomplished things. So when I look at some of the things that are hard that are coming up, some of the things that people look at as impossible that I've got on my plate that I'm going to achieve, these things remind me that I can do it. I raised 4 kids, 4 daughters, 2 stepsons, and I have a young son now, and we're raising them together, my wife and I. And incredible kids, beautiful kids. I can't brag about them enough. Can I take credit for everything that they do? Yes. I'm going to. No, they do the work themselves, but I hope that somewhere along the path I blazed the trail for them somewhere, or taught them something, even if it's how not to do something. My weight currently, some of you know a little bit about what went on in the last 5 years. Not everybody. Kept it to myself, and I'm keeping it to myself that way. But let's just say this: I was saddled with a major setback in my life in the area of health. It could have been a major. Let me rephrase it. Could have been a major setback in my life with health, and it taught me a lot of lessons. And I kicked its butt, and it's gone. That is a major, and I'm impressed by that, and I inspire myself to do more and keep going. So at the end of that illness stuff, let's go the other way. Let's get healthy. I started dieting. I went from 230 pounds to 203 pounds. I had a 40-inch waist. I went down to a 35-inch waist, 34 and a half inches. I'm now currently at 210 again. I'm still lifting weights, but that I never thought was possible before. And I'm the healthiest, best. I feel the best that I've been in a long time. That inspires me. When I hit those walls and I went from 203 back to 207, from 207 back to 214, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I realized I had lost focus, and I almost gave up. Oh, man, because if you're like me, you can gain weight by breathing. It's real easy, and losing it takes some work. Which is easier? Well, let's just breathe. Now let's put the work in, because I like the results. So I've done it. I can do it. I know I can. So whenever I need that extra inspiration, the first place I go is myself. I look in the mirror and go, look at all the wonderful things that you've accomplished. I am grateful for the ability to make great things happen, incredible things happen, and I can do it. If you need somebody else to inspire you, find somebody. Reach out. You don't need to be alone. If you want to have people in your life, reach out to people in your life. With this is way easier than we had it in the 70s and 80s. We used to have to go knock on our buddies' door, see if they're home. Hey, man, is Mr. Stiver home? Nope, he's not here. Dang it, I'll come back next week. And our lives were that way. But this is easier. Find somebody that inspires you. Can you be inspired by a movie? Absolutely. Isn't that weird? Don't find a depressing movie. Come on, people. Don't go find some depressing movie. Did you ever see The Notebook? Make you cry, right? But what about their relationship did you like? They had turmoil and stuff, but it might have made you, even if it made you understand this is, I want that feeling, but I don't want it that way, right? John Wayne movies, Bugs Bunny movies. It's raining out here on my computer, so I'm going to call it quits pretty quick. It was an awesome, incredible morning. I woke up and it was yellow outside. Did you guys wake up and experience that? Yellow haze and thunder and lightning, and it was beautiful. So day 19, be positive. Raise your standards and find somebody who inspires you. Get around excellence, and excellence will feed on you. If you improve 1% a day, how much have you changed or improved at the end of a month? How about the end of a year? If you think 365% at the end of the year, you're wrong. It compounds. I'm not going to do the math for you. It's Friday. Happy Friday. 1% a day, feeds over into the next day, and then you get 1% on top of that, and you get 1% on top of that, and pretty soon the percentages add up. It's the same thing with money and finances, but if you improve yourself 1% every day, imagine what you're going to be like at the end of the year. All right, day 19, ramblings. Get around people who inspire you, get around people who lift you up, get around people who challenge you to become better. And that can be one or two ways. You can motivate towards, I want to be like that, or you can motivate away from. Ain't no way I'm going to be like that. But motivation is motivation. Inspiration is a lot different. Inspired to become better. Raise your standards. I love you. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'll get out here early again at 8 o'clock before I leave. I got a show tomorrow night, which is awesome. We're going to go down and bring in the year with New Haven and some fireworks and do some journey stuff there. But I will see you Saturday morning, and then Sunday, give me a little bit of time to wake up, okay? And then I will see you Sunday afternoon as well. I love you. Be good to yourself. Raise your standards. Wait, I'll get this. There's the camera. Peace. How's that? Good. I'm going to eat my breakfast now. Where's Matthias?